Alright, so recently I found myself in a bit of a pickle. I got bored of my own playlist. Something that no human wants to experience, but they have to experience it. Me personally, despite being a white boy from Ohio, my playlist is pretty much all rap, aside for some exceptions. And I thought, you know what, today we might as well expand our horizons a little bit. Listen to the divorced dad genre of music, otherwise known as rock. I'm still gonna listen to rap, but I'm not gonna be that one guy who thinks they're better than everyone else because they don't listen to rap. But I might as well incorporate some other genres into my playlist. You know, look around the palette a little more. The way this is gonna work is I'm just gonna listen to bands and artists that I hear people talk about all the time. So the first one I'm gonna listen to is Pink Floyd, because I hear people always talk about, Pink Floyd's so great. I'll be the judge of that. Let's listen to some Pink Floyd. So what I did was I listened to a couple songs, pretty much the entire album of Wish You Were Here, and I also listened to a little bit of The Wall. And yes, they lived up to the hype. One track that stood out to me off of The Wall was Comfortably Numb. Alright, I don't do drugs, but if I did do drugs, I would play this song while on a drug trip. That entire song made me feel like Squidward in that one episode where he's stuck all alone. All alone. Another standout one is Have a Cigar off of Wish You Were Here. The funky guitar riff, like gritty vocals and stuff. I think it's about just like the music industry in general. It was a great song. What I learned from Pink Floyd is that I need to listen to more Pink Floyd. The next band I wanted to give a try was Nirvana. You know, like the t-shirt company. I didn't even really know they made music. That was a joke before someone yells at me in the comments. People get so defensive about that. If you wear a t-shirt of a band that you don't listen to, people act like they're part of the band. No. Your interests aren't as unique as you might think they were. Let people enjoy a good t-shirt. But yeah, I wanted to listen to Nirvana. I was intrigued by Nirvana. So I listened to a little bit of Nevermind and a little bit of In Utero. I liked both of them. But yeah, there's a certain type of feel listening to them, especially on Nevermind. Whole album, I was feeling like Batman. Well, I wasn't feeling like Batman because you guys know I am Batman, but, well, you get the Lithium, Come As You Are, Something in the Way. They all fit just so perfectly in, like, a dark and mysterious movie. Most of the songs off of this album, I already know. I just recognize from, like, I guess, just existing and stuff like that, but I never really listened to the lyrics or anything, and I realized how sad and dark a lot of these songs are. Like, why is this guitar so good for a song about a kid getting kidnapped? I added a bunch of Nirvana songs to my gym playlist, and I'm kind of built like Greg Heffley, but best believe when I'm listening to this, I'm gonna feel like Ronnie Coleman. The next band that I listened to on my quest was Weezer. All because of this album cover. It intrigued me a lot because I've seen all the memes about it, and I just thought, oh, people are making memes about this cover. Wow, this album must suck. Boy, was I wrong. For anyone not familiar with Weezer, just imagine you walked into a Magic the Gathering convention, grabbed the 4 best players, and put them in a band. They would suck. Right? Wrong. It goes hard. I listened to the self-titled album. It was just a feel-good type of album. All right, there are some songs on there that have a lot of deeper meanings, like Say It Ain't So, but most of the album is just upbeat and kind of fun, and not the lame corporate fun and upbeat. You can tell there was a lot of passion put into this, and you can tell they were just having a fun time making music. And then I listened to Pinkerton. Completely different. You know, we were just talking about songs that would be good at the gym. A lot of songs on Pinkerton would. I mean, The Good Life, just to name one. Apparently, people hated this album when it first came out. Why? Why was this album overlooked? The next band I went for on my quest was the Beatles. You know, they're kind of underrated. You may have heard of them. You may haven't. They're you gotta kind of be in the know. Okay, but being serious, before I listened to them, I was like, all right, they have to be good. If they're not, I'm going to call them out because people hype up the Beatles. With the Beatles, I kind of took a different approach. I didn't listen to like any specific albums. I just went to their most popular songs and listened to them. First off, right off the bat, let's talk about Strawberry Fields. How does a song manage to sound scary and happy at the same time? I don't know how they did that. Speaking of songs that you would listen to while on drugs, this is definitely one of them. In fact, I'm pretty sure they were on drugs while they made it, which just made it better. This song was released in 1967, yet it feels futuristic somehow. Magical Mystery Tour was the album I listened to the most, and I don't even know how to describe it. It has a lot of weird feelings. Hey Jude, obviously a feel-good classic banger. After the Beatles, we have Radiohead. Radiohead always stood out to me because of the cool album covers and name.
People and technology are a bad match, just like moms and Radiohead.
Oh, no. No, this isn't music. No, I don't like this, David.
I listened to OK Computer, and what really stood out to me was the production. It was like very, very technological in a way, and it was really enjoyable. Also, it was really sad. On the top comment of No Surprises, it literally says the song just feels like despair. Good to know. I listened to Creep, and that song was good, and it led me to Creep by Stone Temple Pilots, and both of these songs are absolute classics. Radiohead was good, just so raw and authentic. So at the end of the day, what we learned today, kids, was that genre hopping is a pretty good thing. It's overall a great thing. I mean, I'm not just going to stay in my box of rap forever, because even if it's the best music, it'll get boring. That goes for all sorts of situations. If you only listen to rock, listen to some rap. If this video does well, maybe I'll listen to country next time. And if that does well, we make it a series. I listen to Viking folk. That's actually a genre. Look it up. It's a real thing. I could also just do a part 2 on rock alone, because there's so many names and bands that I didn't mention in this video. Queen, Deftones, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, like Sublime, freaking Loaded Diaper, Smash Mouth. I don't know. I could go all day. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to. It would mean a lot. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Adios. Love you. Bye.